Hello, y'all, and welcome back. So we continue our exploration of deontology, in particular Immanuel Kant's deontological idea that to understand right and wrong, you go to the level of will, the core of the human person, in particular to the level of maxim. To illustrate this, I want to engage in an extended thought experiment, and the germ of this thought experiment, like the germ of so much of the ethics I do, is in Rosalind Hurst's house. But this is called the women in the bag. And in this thought experiment, 7 women in kind of parallel universe type scenarios find a very expensive bag, some designer bag, with a huge amount of cash inside and credit cards. Just lying there, they just find it. It's been lost or abandoned. And all 7 women return the bag to its rightful owner. But their reasons for doing so vary. And in exploring their reasons, their motives, their maxim or intention, we can uncover layers of moral praiseworthiness. So the first woman who finds the bag is Sharon. So Sharon's walking along. She encounters this bag, designer bag, lots of cash inside. And she is overcome with joy. This is her lucky day. She's going to get super rich. And so she picks up the bag and starts to head to her car. But as she's walking to her car, she makes eye contact briefly with a couple of people who are walking far away, like 50, 60 yards away. And she sees them. And they know her, not like personally at a friend level, but they had a class together and they know her name for sure. And she thinks, great. There's like a 95% chance I can get to my car and get away with this. But on the off chance that the person who dropped the bag comes running up in the next minute, yelling and screaming about their bag, and these people are still around, and they say, well, yeah, I saw Sharon taking off with it, she could potentially be in a lot of trouble. So frustrated, angry, resentful, cursing her bad luck, she returns the bag to its rightful owner. So her reason is she doesn't think that she can get away with it. She doesn't think she can get away with it. That is Sharon. The second woman who finds the bag is Susan. Now, Susan, as she's walking, sees a sign, and the sign says, lost bag. Great sentimental value, $1,000 reward. And Susan thinks, whoa, I've never seen a reward that big for anything. The person who finds his bag is one lucky individual. Not 5 minutes later, she finds a bag, and she thinks, this is incredible, I'm going to get $1,000. But as soon as she opens the bag, she is overcome with indignation. She realized the bag itself was like $5,000, and there's like $20,000 in cash in the bag, and the person's only offering $1,000. She says, I'll teach them to offer this paltry reward for something that's so valuable. She says, I'm just going to keep it. What are they going to do? So she takes it to her car. She starts to drive home. But it's a longer drive. She got like one of those 25-minute, half-hour commutes, and on the way, her conscience starts to bother her. And she knows that when she gets home, she's going to see her kids first thing, and she's going to have to lie to them about where she got the bag and where she got the money. And she's not a monster. I mean, she's been raised right, so she's going to try to raise her kids right, teach them to tell the truth and, return what they've borrowed and this sort of thing. She's going to feel like a hypocrite. And she knows that as she's lying in bed at night, her conscience is going to eat away at her. And so eventually on this drive, she says, look, if you had told me first thing in the morning that I'm going to get $1,000 for basically doing nothing, and I'm going to do a good deed and make someone's day and pay it forward, I would have said that's clearly a win. Under any other circumstances, I would have said, yes, I'll accept that. So she eventually decides to go and return the bag, and she does return it to its rightful owner. Why? Because for her, $1,000 and a good conscience is better than more money and a bad conscience. $1,000 and a good conscience is preferable to way more money and a bad conscience. That's why she does it. The next woman who finds the bag is Linda. Now, Linda also, as she's walking, sees a sign, says lost bag, $1,000 reward. Not 5 minutes later, she finds the bag. And she is understandably and justifiably really excited. She's been raised right. She's going to do the right thing, but she thinks I get to do the right thing. I get $1,000, right? It's win-win. So she finds the idea of the person, she takes it to the bag, or she takes the bag to them at their place, rings the doorbell. Person answers the door, hello. Linda says, here's your bag. They say, oh my God, thank you so much. No, thank you. Here's $1,000. Oh, thank you so much. No, thank you. Thank you. Everyone feels great. They're super happy. She goes home, tells her partner, best day ever. Well, probably was, right? She made someone's day, did a good deed, got $1,000. Why does she return the bag? It was the right thing to do, and she got $1,000. Double motive. Okay? The next person to find a bag, Belinda. Now, Belinda's walking along. She finds a bag. Immediately opens a bag, looks inside, finds the ID of the person, driver's license has the address on it, finds their house on Google Maps, drives their house, ding dong. Person answers the door. Belinda says, "Here's your bag." Person says, "Oh my God, thank you so much." Belinda says, "That's fine." Person says, "Here's $1,000." Belinda says, "No, it's okay. Just keep your money. Have a good one. God bless." Walks away. Doesn't take the money. Why did she return the bag? Because it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. Period. Full stop, as our British friends would say. Now, we've gone through 4 of these women. Let's pause. At a certain level, the point is obvious. If we analyze what they do, right, if we analyze just action type, or at a utilitarian level, action type plus results, all 4 women are equally morally praiseworthy. And if all that you want to do is ask the question, did they do the right thing, then they're all equal, because the answer is just yes. But Kant and deontologists following him say, look, the goal here is not this kind of relatively surface level question of did they do the right thing. The goal is to what? To understand right and wrong, to get a deeper understanding of right and wrong. There are many situations in life when you need a deeper understanding of someone's moral character and motives and intention and trustworthiness. And so if we go down to that level, we see that these 4 women occupy 4 different levels of moral praiseworthiness. They're not equally morally praiseworthy. And general consensus, generally speaking, you don't have to say this, but I'm inclined to think this, and most of my students when I present this in class are inclined to think this, would hold that Belinda is, of the 4 women, the most morally praiseworthy, because she returns a bag just because it's the right thing to do. There is no motive, there is no self-interest. She's just doing it because it's the right thing to do. And Kant certainly would agree with that. He would say she's clearly the most morally praiseworthy of these 4 because her motive, her maxim, has the least self-interest and the most adherence to duty. But it gets a little more complex, and we'll look at some other more ethically nuanced examples in the next video. Thanks.